So, uh, Dr. Hasan, thank you for meeting with us today. We're very excited to meet with you. We think it's a wonderful product.
Thank you, Zincit, and thanks for showing interest in my product. Unfortunately, my lawyer could not be here today, so I would be negotiating on behalf of the two of us today. However, he would be taking his fees. That's something he's mentioned, since he was able to negotiate the deal with sums. So his 5% fees would still stand good as of now. So I'd like to start with the fact that I already have an offer from Zumps, which is a 20 million, which I'm sure my lawyer has forwarded the document to you.
Yes.
And I also see that you have sent me 5 quotations. You've sent me 5 offers. And now talking about the numbers, you know, Zincit directly benefits 120 million in profits if you get the FDA approval. And you would also benefit a 20 million in profit if you do not get the FDA approval. So indirectly, if I look at it, you anyway make 30 million on your table. So you have, so by getting into this settlement, I feel you already are 30 million plus in profit.
How do you work the 30 million?
So the 30 million is pretty simple here. So you believe there is a 10% chance of getting 120 million profit, which is getting the FDA approval. So FDA approval gets you. So you believe 10%. So if we take a 10% of 120 million, add that up to 90% of 20 million, because you believe that 90% possibility that you will not get the FDA approval. Yeah. So adding the two figures, you are already on at the table with a 30 million. How I want to look at this is, you know, ideally, I would want to split the 30 million, but in a 20 million profit if you do not get an FDA, 120 million if you get an FDA. So I look at the pie as 100 million. Negotiation, I feel we should do a 50-50 split of the pie.
Okay, so I understand the concept. Realistically, if we do get the submission, so we're expecting 120 million profit. If we don't, we would only expect to get a 20 million. So right. It's one or the other. And I appreciate the percentage calculation, if you like, but well, how we're looking at it is we have a lot of lump sum investment to begin with, the 10 million, which is why Zums aren't interested in it, I assume. I understand they don't have experience of submitting it. It's timely, it is expensive. We do have experience on it. And it's this experience which causes us to think, we think it's unlikely we'll get it. That's why we're measuring it at 10%. And that's based on our experience. So we think it's worth the risk. Talk me through your thinking though, in relation to the 30, what are your proposals in relation to that?
So the negotiation here, you know, what I'm trying to negotiate on is post FDA approval. Essentially, I am creating the opportunity, the 10% opportunity of 120 million for you. Had I not been here, that this business wouldn't have been possible for you. However, I also acknowledge the fact that had you not been there, I would have had to settle for only a 20 million and nothing above that. So my initial ask is a 20 million, and additionally, if we get the FDA approval, which is, so if you look at the pie, it's 100 million then, I ask for a 50% split, a 50-50. However, I acknowledge that both the parties are required here and your expertise are also required in creating this product. I am okay to negotiate on the 50 million that I'm asking for from the pie.
When you say about sharing the risk, and you mentioned a 50% share of the pie, how would something lower than 20, but something approaching the 50% upside, how would that sound? If there were, say, this isn't an offer, it's just bouncing ideas around, but if you were approaching 50% of the pie of 100, say, if it was around the 40 million, if we got it, but only taking 10 million to begin with, you'd be looking then, if you were successful, at something 50 million front. What's the difference between 20 million and 10, 12, 14 million, but then getting 40, 45% at 10 million upfront, but they're getting, say, a 45% share of the 100 million pie. That would...
Yeah, absolutely. I'm willing to do that, because now that you've mentioned 40, 45%, okay with sharing a 45% of the profit with me from the FDA. I am willing to take an upfront of 17 million.
The offer there was 17 million upfront, 45%.
That's right.
We can shake hands on that. So a fake shake.
Yeah.